Good evening, everybody. Welcome on Tutored. I'm Nicolò, and I am one of the co-founders of Tutored. Before starting this webinar, I would like to explain all of you this platform, how it works. Just some more thing. On the left side, you can find the conversation icon. You can use this just to write everything you want. For example, I write hello. It's important that the question you are going to do in the question answer section. In this way, Rebecca and Guido will manage better the situation. Last thing, in the bottom right, you can find an icon white. You can use it to decide how to view the speakers or the screen as you prefer. If you would like to show you up and say something, you can write in chat and say, I would like to say something, and Rebecca and Guido can just put you as a speaker. For me, it's a pleasure to stay here. Thank you, Anna. Thank you, Rebecca. Thank you, Guido, for staying here. I leave the word to Rebecca, and see you later.
Thank you, Nicolò. Welcome, everybody, to the last webinar of our Startup Challenge. Today, me with Guido from Team Events and Nicolò from Tutored are more than happy to host our guest, Anna De Stefano. So welcome, Anna. Thank you for being with us. Before starting, let me spend just a few words about Anna. We got to know her a few months ago, and we got so impressed, I would say, by her rich experience in the business and startup field that we decided to elect her as an official advisor of our association. And apart from being our advisor, Anna does a lot of things. She is a business angel, a startup mentor, and also member of the AI Alliance at the European Union Commission, if I'm not wrong. And right. She's also passionate about the legal innovation team and about women entrepreneurship. For this challenge, Anna will share with us her expertise on how to prepare the perfect pitch deck. That is also going to be one of the 2 deliverables we ask you to prepare for the evaluation of your idea. Now, I don't want to steal too much time from Anna, so I will leave the stage to you. And guys, enjoy this super interesting webinar.
Rebecca, thank you very much for the presentation. Really beyond anything expected and beyond, I'm really humbled and honored by that. I hope to maintain all the expectations because now the bar is quite high. My pleasure is to stay with you, to have met you and all your colleagues of the Ecole Polimi. I think you're doing an extremely interesting and valuable work with such a good energy and positive attitude that I think is the fact that you're there and you're organizing so many interesting activities is so rich for all the participants. And I hope that a lot of participants enjoy all the professionalism and the activity and the contents that you're putting together to provide them. So let's go towards this journey of a pitch. My idea is to have, let's say, a lecture of around 1 hour, and then I'll be more than happy to answer to your questions, or also the questions that could come from the audience. So as I am not able to see the participants, I think that it would be better if we group all the questions at the end of my lecture, so that I can come back and switch on again the video, and so in this way have a conversation with you all. So with no more ado, let's just share my screen and see. Let's go.
Yes, no, yes.
How to pitch like a pro. Do you see the screen?
Yes,
Is everything fine?
Yes, Anna.
Okay, great. So let's go on with the pitch. Yes, because you have to try to pitch like a pro. Pitches you will see, and pitches and presentations and communication, generally speaking, it will be one of the most important activities of being a founder. And anyhow, of your professional life, whatever, whichever it will be. And so I think that this is a good training moment to start thinking how to communicate really effectively your idea, and to get the funds usually, but also the clients or also the suppliers that you're interested in. And so the more you train yourself in communicating, the best is for your startup and for your and in general speaking for your professional life. So we're going to see some in the most important part of a pitch. I have attended to, let's say, around 800 pitches. So I have a bit of an experience, and also I'm selector for some of the startup programs. So sometimes also I help choosing the right startups. So it doesn't mean that what I'm saying is really perfect, but let's say I have a bit of experience. So do what it sounds good for you, and then in case you can discuss for your other ideas. So when you pitch, this is what you don't want to say. That's for sure. Whoever you have in front of you, either if he or she is a VC, or it's a call for call for ideas, or a selection, so a jury, whatever jury it is, that is the face and the eyes that really you don't want to see. And also think that VCs usually see a lot of pitches, generally speaking, and especially a lot of pitches the same day. So this is really something that can happen, and we're going to find some tricks to avoid this kind of effect. On the other way, this is how you have to feel yourself first, and then have the people that listen to your pitch feel afterwards. So with that kind of energy, this kind of positivity, and really, really sure of yourself, but also because you have very well nailed your pitch all around. And why it's so? Because your pitch has to be a memorable pitch, which means it has to be clear. So no questions, no questions mark, no difficult concepts, no difficult words, but really clear, engaging. So the people have to follow you, have to be with you, not just start thinking around what they had for lunch or what else. Actionable. So ask them something. Ask your audience to do something for you, not just tell them a story. Visual, because visuals helps a lot to focus on the most important subjects and messages that you want to deliver. And with personality, generally speaking, personality is important. And also when you pitch, one of the first things, or probably the most important thing that you're going to pitch is to convince is your personality. So don't hide it. Use it, show it, use it according to some rules, some generally accepted contents, but put something that is really unique and that will make your pitch memorable. So the pitch, as I was saying before, it's a journey. It doesn't come out all of a sudden like a sort of inspiration that someone sent you at a certain moment of the day. But it's a journey. So go through all these phases. Think about all these phases to prepare your perfect pitch. And deliver the right attention to all of them, because all of them are very important. So this is then we will have this go quickly through them, and then we will go more in depth afterwards. So first, know who you are. You can tell that other people something about you if you don't know what you are and what you want. Also, grasp the attention. Don't have them alone. Know your audience. Have a call to action, as I was saying before. bring the people with you, put some storytelling, not just scattered information, but tell them a story. Tell them something that can be easy to remember and can be memorable, that can be unique. Of course, put some data about market, about competition, about your result, about what you've done, because of course, if you're asking for money, you will have to prove something, and you have to show some consistent data, both of what you're doing, so your results, but also what is the situation and the environment in which you move, and those are very important. Tell also about the team. The team also is core, because especially at the beginning of a startup, team is the only thing that in a certain way you can see and you can appreciate, because then there are so many uncertainties, and also all, what you think, what you elaborate for the future is subject to so many uncertainties, that only if the team is strong, probably the startup will succeed. So tell about the team, convince the people how the team is convinced about the startup and involved. As I was saying before, be authentic, be yourself, be you, and also because it's only you that is going to found the startup and to lead the startup. So just show who you are and what you think and what you want to do, and also prepare for question and answers. So this is also something that we forget. On the other side is very important, because the actual pitch is just the beginning of a conversation with investors, with the audience, and that is important as important as the pitch itself. So when you train not only about the slides of your presentations, but also think about what the answers can be, or the question that can be. So a few words about myself. Sorry for this slide in Italian, but I couldn't find the right one with in English. And this is also something that usually in a pitch don't do, either or in Italian or in English. So this is also let's say it's a proof of the fact that I'm going to tell you what to do and also show you what not to do. But I mean, we're, I think, in a good conversation and good company, and I hope that you apologize for this. So Rebecca's already told a lot about me. What I just want to point out is that I managed the company since the beginning. So in sort of way I did my startup already, so I know a little bit how the things are going and how the different phases of dealing with the company from the start, from the really start and scratch to the evolution of the activities to becoming the leader in the market sector and maintaining the leadership position for more than 20 years, which is also quite a good, quite a hard work because it's sometimes even more difficult than getting the success. I dealt with team problems, as I said, with strategy problems, with funding activities, and I think it's very important to have values. Follow your values, and that will help you to create value, or also business value for your company and for the ecosystem. What else also very so I'm also now acting as a business angel and startup mentor, also delivering some innovation in the legal sector, which where I worked for more than 20 years, and I've been also awarded with this prize about the women in Europe, women in Europe that in legal tech, which is also interesting because it's a way to put together some knowledges that are different. That's also I'm pointing out for you, for your experience. So connect the dots. So in my case, it was connecting innovation, legal knowledge, some technology, and a lot of human-centric approach, mainly driven by design, but also by a truly focus on team, on clients, on value building for the value creation for both the clients and the internal team, which are the two assets that make a company great. So also for you, Always think about the client. Client is your focus, it's your centricity. Your activity as to your company has to deal and to follow the clients, but also build a strong team, because without the team you can't beat anything good, and or probably you can't beat anything, and that's really important for also since the beginning, and that also is something that you have to show very quickly, of course, but very effectively also in your pitch. So know you are who you are. There's something sometimes in people founders doesn't think that much about this, especially when they have to pitch. On the other side, in my opinion, it is not a waste of time of really reflecting well about who we are, what is your company, what your company wants to do, and which are your values, which are your mission, because then everything will follow on consistently. If you're not clear with you in what you want to do, what you want to achieve, how you want to do that, then it will be extremely difficult to explain it to others, especially if they are very experienced people and that have to give you some money, sometimes even a lot of money. So if you're uncertain about what you really want to do, how you think to do it, and how do you think to create your unique value proposition, that is something that you cannot explain. And also, if you're sure about that, you can also find the right way to explain it, also with the right storytelling that we see afterwards, with the right words, also with the right sales strategy. So really think about the core values of your activity. So what you want to do, which is the problem that you want to solve. That is, it should be, especially at the beginning, the focus of what you're searching. So which is the problem that you want to solve? Because a startup has to be built on to resolve a problem, not because you have had a great idea or because you have the idea that is changing the world. Because if nobody is searching for it, that startup is totally useless. It's a terrible truth, but it's truth. So the earlier you know it, the better. You have to love to solve a problem that some people, some market targets, some clients are willing to pay you for this solution. That's the core of your activity, and so you have to really think about this and to prove that you do that, and you do that in your unique value proposition with your uniqueness, either because you're much simpler than others, either because you provide a better service to clients, either because you are more cost efficient, or you're cheaper, or you give more quality. But anyhow, something that you're unique, for which you are unique, and unique now, and you can maintain that uniqueness in the future also, because that is what protects you and your idea. And also, how do you do that on a more soft skill activities? So, which are your values? Your values in the case of impact with the society, with the environment, if any, of course. I mean, I don't say that you have to have this kind of values, but if you should have your own way to deal with business and with activities, and so state them. Think about that, state them, because this is also a richness, something that makes you even more unique. And if you really solve a problem with your unique solution, that's a very good point for you as a founders, because I'm sure that you have a lot of passion to make these things real, but also for investors, that they will see a very good opportunity to invest in your startup. grasp the attention. That's also another focus. So that's so the first part was more of a sort of setting of preparation. So laid out the foundation of how to build on your pitch or your investor deck or your communication set. But let's say so the fundamentals that you have to communicate to all the people around you. Now let's move on the techniques, so on the tricks that helps you become a pro in pitching. So also, this is another great point. Grasp the attention, because this goldfish is your worst enemy. Because think that a goldfish has a attention span of 9 seconds. We humans now have an attention span even lower than a goldfish, because it's around 8 seconds, which online dramatically shifts to 3 seconds. So you really have to get the attention since the beginning of your speech. That's why I don't like very much when the pitches start. Hello, good evening, or good morning, whatever it is. I am Anna, and I'm the CEO of this new startups, and I'm going to present you. Your name we will get to know just afterwards. The name of the startup usually is just in the back of the screen, so I see it's big and strong, so no problem to know. And in saying so, you already lost at least 4 seconds. So my span, if I'm really not concentrated about you, I'm already thinking about 2 other things. So don't lose that moment. And in my opinion, you should go straight forward to grasp the attention in the first or maximum the second slide. Show them that you can be unique, that they have to listen to you because you are the best bet of their life, and keep them with you then afterwards. So make everything that you can thinking in the pitch in a way that you get immediately attention and you maintain it a long way with your presentation. So if there is some parts that are a little bit longer or more difficult, then find a nicer way, either a joke or a brilliant slide or what else, in order to get again the people with you and keep them going on with information that your pitch want to give. So remember, when you're pitching or when you're preparing the pitch, remember always there is a goldfish in front of you, which is much more attentive than the investors that you're going to meet, and beat them. This know your audience. That's another point, which is very important, generally speaking, in life. Each one you have to tell a story, a different story. There is not a story fits all, but you have to adapt your story to the audience, to the different audience that you will have in front of you, because of course the fundamentals are the same. You are always the same, and your startup is always the same. I'm not saying that you have to invent things, but the way in which you present, the focus that you put on the different aspects of your activity is different according to the people who are listening to you, that are different among themselves, are different opinion, different points of view, different focuses. So I would strongly recommend you to try to know at maximum the audience that you will have in front of you, because, for example, VCs are different from business angels, because probably, of course, VCs are more structured, more financed. They have to show other people some results. They have an investor proposition. They have a fixed time in which they have to show the results. While, for example, business angels are more kind of persons that are willing to make some money for sure, but they don't have special restrictions or fixed time because they have goals, and they also can decide for sometimes not to respect the goals that they have set for themselves. So it's different. So on one side, you have, for example, you have to show to the VCs how your value creation can be coherent with their investment proposition, while for the business angels probably could be more interesting how you're building this value creation, which is the strategy, which is the efforts that you're doing to put together all the different pieces, and in case also see if the business angel can give you some help also from the operational side. Really try to know when you know in front of whom you're going to pitch, try to get the most of the information online. You can find a lot of them, and so adapt your pitch to the focus, focusing on the things that can be interesting for your audience. And also the investors, the VCs are different among themselves. So try to find which are the key points of each investor, so even of each investor, of each VC, and try to adapt your presentation. And always get their attention. So also from the structure of the pitch, if you know that someone likes a certain way of contents, provide her or him or her that kind of contents. So study very well the audience, read on the internet about the persons that you're going to meet, and adapt. That's a great lesson also, generally speaking, when you have to communicate or when you have to make some presentation, whichever they are. Have a call to action. That also is something that you should remember when you're preparing a pitch, that you have to have something that you want to ask your audience to do for you. So in this case, it's read this. In your case, for sure, it won't be to read this because you are in front of the audience presenting your activity. So for sure, they don't have to read this. But anyhow, in this case, this is really clear. Read this. With the same clearness, you have to have a call to action in your pitch. That probably it will be stated at a certain point of the presentation, but that you have to have always in mind when preparing the pitch and presenting it, because you don't have to describe something in the air or in the smoky situation with that could be whatever, anything, and with a face that doesn't see and is not convinced if it's presenting A or B. You are presenting something because you want to obtain something. Usually you want to obtain some money because you need them to go on with your activity, or you just you would like to have some contacts, some connections, because that could be useful for your clients, to find clients, or to find partners for the development for your company. Whichever it is, usually if you make a presentation, it's because you need something, you want to obtain something from the audience. Put it in your pitch, state it, or make that all the pitch is clear, that you where you want to go, because that's also a way to show that you know where you want to go and you know what you need. And those are also some important information for the investors to see how determined you are and how clear in mind you have the path to go to the success. Because the good investors is someone that wants your success. That's also something important. The good investors, the investors that are really founders friendly, are investors that want that the founders have success. Because only the founders can really work to the success of a startup. And if the startup has success, then everybody will be. It's a win-win situation. So also, even if also the investors will be happy and will get the returns. So have a call to action. Don't be afraid. Ask the money you need. Tell what you're going to do with that money, and make a consistent plan to show that what you ask is feasible and you're going to do it. So ask for an action. Don't just describe what you thought one night to do with your best friend. Put some storytelling. So, and all what I said just before, it comes even better when you have a story, when you put a story. So when we can see in the pitch that is something that flows on. It's not a scattered situation of different information just scattered in different slides, but it's a flow of information that that are connected one with the other, and that each one adds some more things to the presentation, some more information, some more pathos, some more results. But you can see that there is a logic behind everything. That there is also a story that you're telling, that can arrive to a call to action. So the call to action is not coming out of the blue, but it's something that is perfectly consistent and coherent with what you just said before. And that helps a lot, first, to have the attention of your audience. So the people in this way more easily follow you and your ideas, but also if they follow you can convince them more easily, and so probably get the results that you want. So in this way, in this image, I just put it's not really a straightforward storytelling, and that I think is also all the rehearsals that you have to do before to get the good storytelling. But anyhow, it's something that it's a flux. It's a flow that goes on. It's not just points around. And so even if there is this very difficult and different flow, it shows anyhow there is a beginning, a starting point, and an ending point, a finish, and that is in a certain way the how the pitch should evolve. And do that with the contents for sure, but do that also with some other tricks, like some good images here and there, some jokes if you are able to, or some questions here and there, because all these things are things that can keep again the attention, and can show that the story is connecting, that the different parts are connected to one each other. So there is a previous and an after, and you're in between, carrying along the people with you from one point to the other, also with a little smile, or with creating even more interest, because even if you have few minutes, the attention is very easy to lose. And so bring them with the story to have all the people with you. And also, at a certain point, have some data. So your story has to be very well thought, has to have a clear idea of where you want to go. And then you have to prove also, of course, what you're saying, because anyhow, we're talking about business. And then you're also talking about asking for money, and the people that send you, that gives you money, they give it usually because they would like to have even greater returns. So making some analysis and financial analysis are very important. And what I would say in the pitch, especially at the beginning, data are important, but not necessarily a lot of data, but few data which are really focused on what you want to do, and that can explain something of your idea, and that are coherent with your idea. So don't put really a lot of data, because especially at the beginning, probably 99% of those data will not be correct. but show that you know which are the main figures of your activities, and that you can monitor them. And this, I think, is what an investor is searching in a pitch, in an early stage pitch. So usually the most interesting data are the market data, so the market size, how big is your market, how relevant you can be for your market, how can you be interesting for your market, and how much time you need to get a significant amount of your market, or on the other way around, how much market you can get in, let's say, in the next 2 or 3 years. On the other side, so the market, usually an idea about the market size is one of the data that we always see. Of course, try to find the exact market of your activity, not just generally speaking, big numbers that relate to your activity. I don't know how, but really search for the niche, for the real problem that you want to solve, and get that data and figures. On the other side, also get data about competitors, both the financial data and also the operational data. Competition is, of course, very important. You will always have competition. So if you say that you have no competitors, usually your solution is not a solution, because probably there is not a problem, or nobody is willing to pay for that problem, because as in 2021, if there is something that is has an economic value, there is someone in the world that is trying to get that value. So study well the competitors, see their sizes, see how they gained their solution, their position, and show how you can be better and you can beat those competitors, and how you can avoid that those competitors beat out you from the market with some of their moves. Also, very important, your results, because go to search for investors, let's say professional investors, not necessarily really the family and friends that help you build the first part of the company, with some results. Show that you have really spot a problem, and you've built an interesting solution for a client target, for a market target. And because this is something that the investors are really willing to say, because it's already a risk to invest in a startup. But if we don't have any proof that your idea, your solution is good, then it will be even more difficult to get someone that invests in your startup. Why? So get some results. So of course, get some sales if you are able to sell. Develop your software, or start developing your software, and start, let's say, selling it, or asking feedbacks about it, testing the interest of the market about your software, and with those results, then go searching for funds, because usually funds arrive upon at least an MVP, or that is a minimum viable product, so an extremely simplified example of your product, or some first results that show acceptance and willingness from the market to buy your solution. Of course, then show also some idea about your forecast, especially where you want to go. It's something that helps investors understand your strategy and also evaluate your strategy. In my opinion, I never like very much the startups that, let's say, they start from some -1, year 1 minus something, year 2 plus 10, year 3 plus 1 million. In my opinion, that is totally unrealistic, and it doesn't make any sense. But show, but that's my approach. So show what you want to, what you think you can obtain applying your strategy and using the funds that the people are giving to you. And of course, show that this forecast will be positive. These are very important. If they're not positive, think about them, because that's a problem. But I don't think that they have to be really rocket science or astonishing. They should be consistent and consistent with your assumptions and your strategy, and let's say in a certain way feasible. Feasible because everything is coherent and is working together. So and the forecast usually 3 years, maximum 5 years, no more, because there is so much uncertainty that it would be worthless to go more. And even in 3 years, there are so many uncertainties that it's really more like a sort of trend than not the actual figure of the situation year by year. And if you have received some fundings, tell how much you've received and what you have done with this, because usually if you very well used the first fundings that probably come out either bootstrapping from bootstrap or from your family and friends, you will be very good also in managing it for bigger sums coming from the investors. And also you show that there are already some people that are believing in you, and this is also something that reassures investors in their trust. As I was saying, prove your results, because you have to show that you're creating the most desired product or service. There was a famous chart about which is the most important reason of failure for startup. And the first one is, the first one by far is nobody wanted their product. So this shows that it wasn't a real solution to a problem. It was just an idea that pleased a lot the founder or the founders. On the other way, show that you're solving something real, so that that you saw the problem, you invented the solution, and you are really happy to develop this solution either as a product or a service, because you found the clients that want it and they really want to have it. So prepare the best package of it for these clients. So the best solution with the best service, sales service, with the best communication, so that your clients are really willing to buy your product service. And when you're done doing this, having this in mind, prove it with actual results from the market. So with actual marketing campaigns, with actual sales, with actual emails, with actual engagements from the market. So reach out to the market, ask its opinion, and prove its opinion, so that the market is searching for your product and they're willing to pay. And these are very important results that you have to show to the investors, because these are something that are very that reassure investors that you will have good possibilities. You may have good possibilities in developing bigger your solution. That is what in the situation is called traction. So show traction for your solution. Show that means show that the market is willing to pay for your solution, or it's anyhow, if it's very early, it's really interesting in getting your solution, so that you're really solving a problem that some clients want to pay for it. And also if you build an MVP, a minimum viable product, so in a minimum amount of your product that can show the features and how good your solution is to solve the product. Show, of course, this product to the features of this product to the investors, but mostly and mainly show the results that you got with this minimum viable product. So have always the market that validates also your MVP, and also get the information from the market how to improve your MVP or your sales strategy. So go always to the market to validate what you think and what you want to do, but also to reiterate what the market is suggesting to you and implementing in your solutions. This is a very good exercise, and is something that the most successful startup really well done in their life. Ask the market, validate with the market, reiterate with the market, and building upon the market feedbacks. Be authentic. So here I put Noam Chomsky, the founder of Airbnb, not because he is more authentic than others, or because others were not authentic. It's just because I found this very nice picture. I think it was very good for this presentation. I put him here. So I mean, he is Noam Chomsky, and he is the founder of Airbnb. As I said before, don't pretend to start a new Airbnb yourself. You're not Noam Chomsky, so don't pretend it, because that's the worst thing you could do. The investors, if they want to give money to Noam Chomsky, they will go to Airbnb, not to you. So be you in the way in which you present your solution. So be authentic on the possibilities of your solution, on the sides of the market of your solution, but also on the other side, be authentic of which is your personality. So if you're more of a shy person or not a big histrionic person, don't try to surprise people with great jokes or with a presentation that is full of this kind of surprises, which are not with your core. So really, also the storytelling. Find the storytelling that does represents you and your startup, that does get attention of the audience, but without being outside of your sense of what makes you different, because the investors will invest in you and your team. This is the main goal, and not the one that you pretend to be, or the one that you think that is the best in the world. Investors know very well that nobody's perfect, and we all can make errors, and in startups also. But they will much more appreciate someone that knowledge for the errors and learn fast from the errors, and make better afterwards. So there is no need to be someone else. Just be yourself and believe in what you want to do, and that's also is something that is very positive for the investors. And also will help you to have a coherent and interesting storytelling during your pitch, but also a consistent question and answer time, because you cannot be, if the pitch is something so different from you, then the question and answer time that will seem that another person is replying or is speaking, which is really some of the worst thing that you can see in a pitch session. If it's always you, then it will be really a conversation that is started and very well managed by you during the pitch, and they will follow on with your question and answers from the investors and the audience. And here, so Prepare for question and answers. So when you train for the pitch, remember that is always this other part, which usually is even longer than the pitch. So it's not a secondary part, it's really a unique part with the pitch. So with the pitch, you have shown and you've got the attention of your audience, and you've shown that you're going to do something good. If the question in the question and answers, the people that have been interested by your pitch get more in depth with of your solution, of the startup, of what you say, and usually they don't want to put you in difficulty. So don't be afraid of let's say difficult or tricky question, but be sure of what you want to do. So be yourself, be sure of what you want to do, be sure of your team, and be sure of show how strong and coherent is your team, and answer to the question of the investors, which usually are willing to understand, to better understand your proposition and what you want to do, to evaluate if it's could be a good investment for their money, and so just know a little bit more about this. So that's why it's very important that you are very strong and detailed in your pitch, so that the people can understand and can be interested by the innovative of your idea, and the very good execution that you propose, and get along with the question and answers. And so remember that the pitch ends only when the camera's light turns off. So the same willingness, the same energy that you put while doing the pitch, put it also in the question and answers. Look into the camera, be concise, be precise, straight to the point, be energetic, be positive, be sure of yourself, and still that little light is on. Be strong and look at the camera if it was the first time that you were pitching, and you are really willing to have that person on board with you, and maintain that gaze till the end of the light camera. When the light is switched off, then you can relax a bit, and you can slow down and sip a beer. But till the light is on, you really show first with your eyes what you want to say, and how strong your conviction is to do what you're saying, and to have the person you have in front of you on board with you. And train to present, because it's very difficult that pitches, you can do a pitch at anyone, I would say, not only you, even us that we are a little bit more experienced. That is another way to say old. It's not that usual that you can pitch immediately with a nice verb, with a nice intonation, with the right contents. So train the presentation, of course, train the voice, the words, the slides, also the platform, especially when we are on live pitching. Always check the platform, test the platform if it's a new platform or not, see how it moves, how the situation goes with the presentation when you share your screen, etc. I have always, let's say, a sort of plan B. If something goes wrong, think about it and have always a plan B. Also because sometimes there are some deadlines that are very important, so try not to miss a deadline for a technical problem. And then train the presentation, train in your team. So all of you train about the presentation, even if you're not presenting all together, but train all, because you can get good glimpse from each other, and also you can understand at the end of this who is the best one to present, and that it should be usually is the person that should present. There is no need that there is the CEO or the CFO, etc. It should be the best person in presenting, and in presenting in that moment, because also sometimes there are persons that are really very well positioned in presenting, or sometimes it's just a question of the moment. But usually, what I suggest is choose the right person at the right moment, and all of you be trained to present, because it's a training and that enriches everybody, and also give you feedbacks. And of course, sometimes present also case to friends, partners, or etc. That in order to get the information, some more feedbacks, because better that you improve your presentation before than straightforward after some pitches with investors. And when I say train, I would say really train. I mean, writing down the pitches, counting the words, see if you maintain in the time, see where you have to put some stress, etc. And those things that are very important when you have to present your ideas. And so, and also, of course, consider if it's an online presentation or in person one, because probably by the end of this year, we might start to have some in-person presentations, which I have to say in this last 1.5 year we haven't had. So almost 2 years that we have not had some in-person presentation. So go back to present in person, to start to make some training presenting in person, also so with the movement of your body, with the clicker for the slides that you should have behind, with a bigger audience, with the people that look at you in first person. So think also about it and train also that. And on the other way around, if it's an online presentation, check your settings. So the lights, your background, the situation, because that's also something that it's not evaluated by the not necessarily is evaluated by that, but anyhow it influences the investors, and so present you as in the best possible way. And also, if you can also use your setting to grasp the attention, in case you can make a very bright, brilliant background, that for sure will be something different from the bookshelves. And at least you will get you will force to see your to look at least to look at you and at your presentation. So use everything to get the attention, and to check that it's coherent with the message that you want to send. And also, last but not least, staying time. I assure you, you can put all the necessary information in whatever time they give you, even if it's 1 minute. I assure you that you can make a great pitch that tells you the most important thing about your startup in 1 minute. So don't tell, I have to tell you something more, I have no time to tell you, or that. It's not a question of time, it's a question of selection. You have to be able to understand which are the crucial things that you want to tell to your audience. So you know your audience, you know who you are, you know what you want to tell to your audience, and you know which is the objective of that pitch, and you can put all these things in the exact time that they gave you. So if it's a 1 minute, it will be 1 minute, and probably at that moment you have just to grasp really the attention of the investor to give you some more time to know a bit more. If it's let's say 3 minutes, you can already give some more details about your solution, always to get time, to get the investor attention, to know you more. If it's a little bit more, or then with the question and answer, to know more details about the solution in order to get the information. But what they give you as a time, that's your maximum limit, and then you have to stay in that. Count the words that you want to say, and watch and meter them, and see if they're in time. Okay, if they're not, cut. Some of them are redundant, so cut them off. Same thing with the presentation, same thing with the speed of your voice, same thing with the number of slides that you want to do. Count, train, rehearsal, measure with the chronometer, with the other people that are listening to you, and nail down to the exact time that you want, that they gave you, with all the important information that you want to transmit to your audience. And so I hope then that with all these tricks, and also especially with the more tricks that you can have, that you have in your passion, you will have this kind of success when pitching or whatever, when you're communicating your ideas to whoever audience you have in front of you. And so thank you very much, and let's keep in touch. It's always lovely to hear from you. And I try to see if there's still someone with me, because still now I have seen nobody.
Yes, we are, Anna, we are.
Oh, thanks. Here's some voice coming from another situation. I don't know. So let me see. Oh, again, happy to see you again. I'm happy that I'm not alone. There are 17 maybe persons somewhere in the internet. And thank you for having listened to me, because I told you talking at the slide screen is a bit strange.
Thank you very much, Anna. Very interesting presentation. As usual, I think you gave us a lot of useful suggestions to think about. So thank you. Really a lot of valuable insights, and especially because they come from someone with your experience. So I think it was really, really useful.
Oh, very happy.
Yeah,
very happy of that.
So we'll go on without losing more time, since it's Friday night, and I think people would like to do also something else. I would go on with questions. We have already some in the chat. So I will start if it's okay for you, Anna.
Go ahead, please. No, okay. Now that I have faces in front of me, I don't change anything. I just want to see some faces, someone who speaks to me. So please go ahead with the question, but I don't change any more screen.
That's good. Okay, first one. Is it always the startupper who needs to find investor to pitch to, in case he or she needs money, or do investors ask for a pitch?
Usually when you contact investors or participate to some demo day, or also acceleration programs, you always end up preparing a pitch deck, because you have to show your progress or your solution. So you have to tell if you need some money, you have to tell why they have to give you some money. Usually that is a pitch, and you do it in this occasion, like demo days, like pitch contest, pitch competition, etc. And there are the investors. If you go searching for some investors, then you have always to have a presentation with you, because when they receive you, what are you going to tell them? So what you're going to tell them is a way, or is a pitch. And also use also this kind of tricks even if you're not in a competition, because the attention of the investor is always the same, 3 seconds, even if it's just in front of you at his desk. So use these tricks to get his attention, and then go on with negotiation.
Okay, great. Second one from Ayush. While pitching our story, what should we focus on? The idea from which we started building our enterprise, or the future potential that we see from our present situation?
The problem, that's for sure. The problem that you want to solve and your solution. The idea doesn't matter anyone. You might have a very good idea, but why should I give you my money to you for your idea? I give you my money to you if I can have some possibility to get more money from you, from your idea. And that's because there is there are a lot of people that are buying your product. And that is when you have spot a problem and you have built a great solution to that problem.
Okay. What's the ideal duration of a pitch?
That depends on the contest. Usually, the contest gives you the length of the pitch. On average, it's around 4 minutes. I would say 5 is maximum, and I would say that even generally speaking, when you have to talk with when an investor, generally speaking, no more than 5 minutes. So in between 3 and 5 minutes. But anyhow, usually really the most part in the most situation is the contact that gives you the time and the time, and also they check it out. So usually if you go long, sometimes they cut your mic. So it's not just an idea. Stay in 3 minutes and then you stay for 15 minutes. 3.5 minutes, your mic is off.
Okay, for a service-based startup, for example, Deliveroo, how can someone estimate the initial amount of required investment while pitching?
In fact, usually you don't pitch for the entire investment of a lifelong startup. You pitch for let's say the next phase, the next important phase of your startup, when you can show some more results, some more interest from the clients for your solution, and then you go again with another pitch asking more funds. Because actually that I didn't mention, usually in a startup life you make the search for funding is one of the most strategical activities that goes all lifelong, and so you will have several investors that will come in the rounds, and so you pitch, you ask for the first amount, for the amount of money that you need to make the next step in your strategy and to get more revenues and more clients, so to get more trust from the clients. And then you go again to the investors to ask for more money to make the other step, etc., etc., till hopefully you become very big or very interesting, that you show that your solution is great, you have a lot of clients, and at that time someone is going to buy your company, or you get listed to some public market.
Okay, thank you. Question from Manjit. If one has a clear idea about the product or service, but doesn't have any proofs, as it is still at an idea stage, in this case, just the research about market requirements and information about customers will be enough during the pitching, or not?
I would say that more than the idea and the pitching, what it would be better is to show some approval from the market. And the approval could be some people that you go on the road and tell the people, you tell your idea and ask them if they give you their email to be emailed from you as soon as you have something. I mean, be creative in that part, but you have to show that someone is really interested in your possible solution. So not your idea, but in the possible solution that you bring with your idea, and show these from the outside in whatever mean you can. So either with questioning, going in the road, or I don't know, asking, putting on a landing page online and stating your idea and ask him, would you be interested in knowing more? Give me your email. So count how many emails are going to tell you, to give you, how many more each day, and these can be interesting points for investors. On the other side, on the practical side, if you really have to go to investors, if possible, go in a little bit later stage. Use this way of testing your idea for yourself, because if your idea, just you that likes your idea, it's a very good idea, make a picture, look at it every day, but don't start a startup because you risk to lose a lot of money. So use this for yourself, and in case for the people around you that want to give you some money, so that not to lose. And go to the investors a little bit later, because the investors give you money, but take some of your equity. So they will they will take some out from you. So if you're stronger, they will get a smaller piece.
Good. Michele asks, how can we test the willingness to pay of potential clients? We should ask by email or surveys or something else?
Whatever. A survey is fine. Your email is fine. You can ask, are you interested in knowing more about my solution? Will you be willing to pay $10, 10 euros for my solution? Or would you go only for a free plan? So you can test it whichever way you think about it. Surveys are fine, emails are fine as well.
Okay. We have one more. As your example about the Airbnb, if I have an idea which solves a problem of a huge market, but there is a single competitor who already excelled in the field, but still hasn't reached the whole market. In this case, will investor be willing to fund the idea or goes to the market leader?
In that case, my opinion, in that case, I think you should prove your own uniqueness. So probably that you will get the best Airbnb, the best B&B, high quality B&B in Italy. So search for a niche, and or a niche or something that you're really unique, or that you can serve best, so that can differentiate you in a certain way from the leader, which is actually something that is happening, because usually when there is a big market player, there are always at a certain point, there are small players that go in a niche, because, for example, Airbnb charges around 30%. So if you can deliver the same quality of service, but with a lower commission, of course, the owners of the apartments will be more willing to go to your to change the platform. So find something that makes you different from the big player, but always attractive for clients, and get traction there, and show that the market is willing to you, because that can be a good point, because in that situation could be a very good situation for when you show that you're very good and that your solution is growing. Then the big player could be interested in buying your startup, and that is very good also for the investors, because they don't have to go searching for a buyer, but let's say there is a natural buyer that is willing to pay also a lot of money because it's already in that market. So that, in my opinion, this is how this situation could be solved.
Okay, thank you, Anna. This was the last one until now. I have a curiosity I wanted to ask you. Since during your career you witnessed, let's say, a lot of pitching sessions, did you notice some sort of common attitude or quality in most of these successful startups you dealt with? And attitudes or quality that they had from the beginning, and that now, while you are listening to some pitching sessions, you look for. So you are just focused on that because, in your opinion, it's something that differentiates the presenter from the others.
Here also my opinion, my approach, for me, team is really crucial. So I always look at the presenter and the team, how much energy he or she puts, how he's convinced of his ideas, how he's willing to fight for it, how he's willing, but to fight in the right way, not just to say I'm right, you're wrong, but to understand the other points and to use it for its own sake. So, in my opinion, what I like most it's the team, it's the presenter, it's the energy, the energy and the willingness of doing, the fact that they really believe in what they do, and that they're a group. So they're working together, that they help each other, and they complement each other. So that, I think, is, and also usually when there is such an energy, the pitch is always flowing much easier and much more interesting. And then of course also the consistent of the storytelling in the presentation, I think, is the other very important fact, because shows that you have a clear idea of what you shows. It's a sign, in my opinion, that the founders have a clear idea of what they want to do, that they have proved that their idea, that their problem solution is really a true solution with the true market, and that they have a good strategy to put in place for the execution to scale as fast as possible.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, I think we have no more questions. So I think we can also conclude. Just a little reminder before we go, since this is the last event before the final one, I would like to say something about the next steps for all the teams that subscribed for the challenge. Remember, guys, to send your business model canvas and the PDF file with the presentation of your idea to the tutored email contact that actually I think you should have already received. So the deadline for sending all the files is the 21st of May at 6 p.m. So guys, save the date and really do your best, because actually we received a lot of applications. We are very excited, and we have more than 50 teams enrolled in the challenge, and only 7 will make it to the final pitching event. So competition is gonna be really tough, but really we have great expectations about all of your works. So guys, do your best and enjoy this opportunity. And I think, unless Anna or Rebecca want to add something, I think we can also conclude here.
No, I just want to add really congratulations to all of you, to you that have organized such an interesting activity, and to the participants, because I'm sure that they're doing a really great job. And also, and from what I'm hearing around, also from in other calls, I think that we are amazed by the number, the quality of the ideas and of the participants. So really, congratulations, because it's not easy to make this kind of journey, not easy at all on everything online. So really, do your best, keep going, keep energy high, because you have really a lot of possibilities in front of you. And congratulations to you, Politecnico, Nicolo Politecnico.
Thank you, Anna.
Thank you, Anna.
Okay, guys, so let's conclude here. Good luck to everyone, and remember the dates. Have a nice evening to everyone.
See you, guys.
Ciao, ciao.
Bye, Anna. Thank you.
Bye,
again.
bye.
Bye.
Ciao.